This is James Fox with another video tutorial for QuickBooks Pro 2013. In this tutorial we are going to create a new sales tax item, and the example that I'm going to use is to collect sales tax on behalf of the state tax agency. Now in lesson 5-2 I created the default sales tax item to collect local sales tax only. However, if your company does business in a state that charges sales tax on goods and services, then you must collect sales tax for the local tax agency and the state tax agency. Now, I'm going to show you the sales tax item that I created in lesson 5-2. So to view your sales tax items, click on Lists and then click Item Lists. Now here is the local sales tax item that I created in lesson 5-2. And as I previously stated, this was created to collect sales tax on behalf of the local tax agency, and I used the example of the Los Angeles County Department of Revenue. Now, since our fictional company Joe's Landscaping is located in Beverly Hills, California, the state of California charges sales tax on goods and services. So I need to collect state sales tax. I only have a sales tax item for local sales tax, so I've got to create one for the state. So this tutorial is about creating a new sales tax item for whatever tax agency that you have to collect for. And my example is simply going to be the state of California Department of Revenue. So to create your new sales tax item, you can click on Item at the lower left and then click New, or you can press Control-N on your keyboard. Either way, it's going to bring you to the New Item window. Now we are creating a new sales tax item, so select Sales Tax Item from the Type drop-down menu. Now in the Sales Tax Name field, type in a name for this sales tax item. Now since I'm collecting sales tax on behalf of the state of California, I'm going to type in state sales tax. You can create a description if you choose to. Now in the tax rate field, enter in the tax rate percentage that the particular tax agency wants you to collect. If you're collecting 4%, type in the number 4. If you're collecting 5.75, type in 5.75. I'm going to use the tax rate of 5.25%, then press the Tab key on my keyboard. Now in the tax agency field, you're going to enter in the information for the government entity that you're collecting the taxes for. So if you're collecting taxes for Hancock County, New York, this is where you're going to enter in their information. If you're collecting taxes for the state of Florida, this is where you're going to enter in that information. So you've got to find out which tax agency you're collecting taxes on behalf of and enter their information here. So to do that, click on the drop-down arrow and then select Add New. And adding the tax agency is just like adding in the information for a new vendor. So in the vendor name field, you're going to enter in the name of the tax agency. I'm using the state of California, so I'm going to type in State of California Department of Revenue. Now down below in the Build From field is where you're going to enter in the address for that tax agency. Once you've entered in that information, click OK to save it. Now all of my fields are complete. I have my sales tax name, the tax rate, and the tax agency to whom I must send in the taxes that I'm collecting for. Now to save this information, click OK. Now this is once again my item list, and you'll see I have the local sales tax, which is what I created in lesson 5-2, and the new sales tax item, which is what we just created. Now I'm going to create a sample invoice to show you how these sales tax items are used on an invoice. So from the QuickBooks home page, click on Create Invoices, and I'm going to enter the sample customer, and the item that I'm selling is red roses. Now the customer that I'm selling this to must pay sales taxes. And if you look to the far right of the invoice, in the tax column, you'll see the item code tax. If this customer was maybe a nonprofit organization or a government entity, I would select non-taxable sales. But this is a regular customer and these items are taxable. Now let's take a look towards the bottom of the invoice in this field called tax. This is the field where you're going to choose the sales tax item that will be charged to your customer. My default sales tax item is the local sales tax, and the reason why it's the default item is because I have it listed as the most common used sales tax item. We covered this in lesson 5-2, but I'll quickly show you where that's located. Click on the Edit menu, go down to Preferences, click Sales Tax in the left pane, then click Company Preferences, and here you will see in the field called Most Common Sales Tax Item, Local Sales Tax is selected. Now if I want to change it, I can select State Sales Tax, which is the sales tax item that I just created. But for now I'm going to leave it alone and click Cancel. Currently, the customer is being charged the local sales tax at a rate of 4.75%. I can change that by clicking on this drop-down arrow and select State Sales Tax, and it's going to change the tax rate to 5.25%, which is the rate that I entered in when I created the state sales tax. Now I want to pause for a moment and bring something to your attention. There's only one field in this invoice that will allow you to choose the sales tax item, and this is that field. If you have a customer in which you must charge state and local sales tax, how can you combine the two? To do that, you must create a sales tax group. We're going to do that in lesson 5-4. But depending upon where your company does business, there will be times where you have to combine sales taxes for various tax agencies, and to do that you've got to create a sales tax group, and like I said, we will cover that in lesson 5-4. So once again, we have created a new sales tax item, and the example that we used was to collect state sales tax on behalf of the state of California. The next lesson, I'm going to show you how to create a group sales tax item, because there will be times, depending upon where your company does business, where you have to collect sales tax on the state and local levels. Once again, my name is James Fox. If you have any questions, please email me.